Hey Patriots, welcome to possibly our final episode of Patriots Pitch. And today, before the start of the CPL season, which is starting in 4 days' time, and we have a very special guest today, the only member of our Patriots side to have gone on the historic tour to England last month, and he's joining us very shortly. We've got none other than Alzarri Joseph, one of our spearhead fast bowlers, and look forward to having an interactive session with all you Patriots very soon. And we're going to talk to him on a number of subjects, right from his childhood days, growing up in Antigua, to his career growth in the West Indies, and also with regards to some memorable moments of his, like he's played in the IPL, of course, and we're also going to obviously ask him about his favorite all-time CPL 11, of course, and we will probably have Alzarri joining us very, very, very shortly. And Alzarri, of course, last year he did play for last couple of seasons. He's played for us, done us proud in quite a few matches, and Antigua is also famous for the four knights, of course. Sir Viv Richards, Curtly Ambrose, Richie Richardson, and Andy Roberts, and Alzarri is right from there. And who would not? Hi, we've got a couple of people joining us. And let's wait for Alzarri to join and get rolling. He will be with us very shortly. Hi Harsh, hi DGKill, hi Kannan, hi Globe Jamun. So yeah, and we're also going to obviously ask him something very interesting. The fact that we've got a legendary bowling coach with us, Courtney Walsh, and how he's going to get some interesting. And Alzarri has joined us, and invite. Waiting for Alzarri. AJ,
Hi.
AJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Thank you so much for taking time off and coming on our Insta Live program. This is our 6th episode of Patriots Pitch. We've had our captain Rayad Emrit and vice captain Dinesh Ramdin earlier. We've also had Sheldon Cottrell and Ish Sodhi. And our last episode we had Ben Dunk. And this is possibly the last episode before we go into the season on the 18th of August. So first of all, Alzarri, tell us about your experience recently in England. You're the only member of our Patriots side to have gone on the historic tour to England. You were quarantined there for 2 weeks in a biosecure, biobubble environment, and you're back after the historic tour, and you're back in quarantine again. Must be difficult, I guess, but I guess the quarantine's getting over in a day or so.
Yeah, it was a different experience to what the norm was. You wasn't allowed to go out, but it was pretty fun because the guys had a whole games room that we could go and play some video games. We had some dominoes, table tennis, basketball, darts, even golf.
Right. Wow, you did get some golf there?
It's
Wow.
more like a golf simulator.
Simulator. Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. Excellent. And how's it getting back after the historic tour and back into another bio bubble?
Well, this one is a bit different from England because we're still not allowed to go to teammates' rooms, but we're allowed to go to the tennis court, the gym, the pool
Right.
after I think it was 8 days. So it's a bit it's a bit less frustrating now than it was for the first 7 days.
Right, right. Can imagine. Yeah. Uh, Tell us also some very different rules with regards to the the tour which you guys went to England, where unfortunately because of COVID and other issues, you can't use your saliva while you're bowling and shining the ball and all of that. Instead, you use sweat. Has that really affected some of the fast bowlers?
Um, no, not really. It took a few days to get used to, but
Right.
it it was basically the same as the saliva. The ball still got some movement in England, so I wouldn't say it really affected the fast bowlers in any way.
And how's your arm doing? You had a bit of a niggle towards the end of the second test, if I'm right.
It was I would say yeah a little niggle, but I had a good run out yesterday and everything was really good.
Excellent, excellent. Looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first game against the champions. I'm really looking forward to you know this year going a bit deeper in the tournament. We made it to the playoffs last year,
correct.
um, so I think this year we have to go one step further and bring home the trophy.
Absolutely. Those are encouraging words from you, AJ. Let's just rewind a little. Go back to say your childhood days in the '90s, growing up in Antigua. Tell me, or tell us, or tell the Patriots who your uh, childhood heroes were, and what was like your motivation to get into cricket and becoming a fast bowler.
Well, for me, um, cricket was more of a pastime as I did in the backyard or on the road. It wasn't really my first love when it came to sport because I was really into football. But my grandmother and my father are really big fans of cricket. My father played, my grandmother scores in Antigua when there's any regional or international games. So she would always take me to all the games, and she was really the driving force behind me becoming a cricketer.
Awesome. So you credit like your grandmother for a lot of your growth, I would imagine. And
Yeah.
who are your childhood heroes, like in terms of idols? Who would you look up to and say that I want to be like him?
For me, when I was, watching cricket, I would always look at Kemar Roach when I was really young and Dale Steyn because of, the pace they bowled with and the aggression that they both had. But when I actually got into playing cricket in secondary school, I started to, you know, get into all the technical stuff with Winston Benjamin. So early in my career, my idols was Dale Steyn and Kumar Roach, but as it went along and I got a bit closer with Winston, I realized that he was, you know, had a lot of knowledge of the game and he could kind of relate to a lot of situations I find myself in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And moving on, you've been playing the CPL for a few seasons. What has been your experience with regards to the CPL? How would you uh, like? It's the biggest party in sport as well, right?
Yeah, it's a really nice atmosphere with the crowds now. It'll be really different this year with no crowds. Um, Actually looking forward to see how it's gonna be, what it's gonna feel like to play without, all the big buzz around the ground as there usually is here in the CPL. But yeah, it's the biggest part in sports. CPL is really important for us Caribbean players to get a chance to show our talents.
And you've been with us for a few seasons. And how has your experience with the Patriots been? Like you mentioned, last year we reached the playoffs and couldn't cross that hurdle to get into the final. But of course, uh, your experience with the Patriots.
Um, my experience with the Patriots has been good. Um, Quite a few years, different coaches, different players. Um, the first couple of years wasn't really the best because we didn't really make it to the playoffs. But
Right.
um, this year, last year and the year before, we had pretty good seasons. So I think it's just up to us to really put the work in, and as I said earlier, take another step and really put a bigger effort in the playoffs and come home because I think this team really has a lot of potential and a lot of match winners within this bunch of guys.
Right. AJ, my next question to you is a lot of fans have been asking this question. Uh, we've got a fairly decent bowling attack, and on top of that, we've had an extra fillip to to the bowling department in the support staff. We've got the legendary Courtney Walsh as our bowling coach. Are you looking forward to getting some tips from him and have you spoken to him, met him before? Your experiences with him? What are you looking forward to learning from a legend like Courtney Walsh?
Yeah, I've had a few experiences with him before in West Indies camps, but in this tournament is a bit different because it's T20 tournament and a man of his caliber, as you all know, he's a legend in the game. So he'll obviously bring some experience to any dressing room. So I'm just looking forward to picking up some tips on, different ideas of how to go about the business from, Coach Walsh.
Right. You've also played in a few leagues around the world. Well, somebody's just asked an interesting question before I go there. Can we expect Alzarri to smack a few sixes as a pinch hitter in this season? You think you'll go up the order?
Um, I think it really depends on, the situation of the game and the team build up because we have more than enough capable batsmen to
Right,
get the job done for us. So I don't think it'll really be left up to me to do that job. But
right.
if the opportunity comes, sure, I'll definitely do my best to get it done.
Awesome. And you've played a few leagues around the world yourself, including the IPL, and in fact, people in India know you for your famous six-wicket haul when you played for the Mumbai Indians. And unfortunately for yourself, you got yourself injured soon after, and you're out of action for a few months. So talk us through that phase of absolute ecstasy when like you probably not too many people in the history of IPL have got six wickets in a T20, and then of course your injury, and then you've recovered, and then again started performing phenomenally well for both the Patriots and the West Indies.
Yeah, if I'm being totally honest, I wasn't even aware of the whole situation because I was just coming in to do a job for the team. I wasn't even paying attention as to how many wickets I had. I was just looking at how many wickets was down. So I was really surprised as to how it really came out because it just all happened so fast. But it was a pretty magical day for me. Um, 6 wickets in a T20 game is not anything easy, but it all just happened for me on that day.
Right. Uh, our next question is actually outside of cricket. What does Alzari do when he's not playing cricket? Does he play golf, listen to music, watch movies? What does he do?
Well, I don't really have much hobbies right now because whenever I get home from a tour, I spend most of the time with my family. So it's basically downtime and keep training, watch movies on Netflix, probably play some video games. That's
Right,
basically it.
right. All right. I'm going to mention to you three legends of West Indies cricket. And two of them, I think, two of them, I guess, are from Antigua. And you got to tell me just one line about these three legends. Are you ready?
Sure,
Yeah. One, Sir Vivian Richards.
best in the world.
Two, Sir Curtly Ambrose.
Uh, I'd say he's just a guy in his own class.
Nice, nice, nice. And the third, he's not from Antigua, but Antigua is probably his favorite ground. He scored the highest test score, and he's also from Trinidad, where you are right now. Brian Charles Lara.
I'd say an inspiration to all young cricketers.
Excellent. I think you've summed it up quite well. And moving on to our final bit of questions or a scenario right now, if I might put it across. So Alzari's got the ball in his hand. There's a super over in play, and you've got, say, 12 runs to defend, and you've got, say, Dre Russ on strike at the other end. What's going through your mind, and what would you do to ensure that Patriots win?
Um, what would I do? I'd definitely, definitely not bowl anything towards his strength. But to be very honest, I don't think I want to answer that question because that that scenario just might come about sometime in the tournament, and it just might give away my tactics.
Or you could just say, I'll get him out. That's it.
Mm, Probably.
All right. Let's do two sets of playing 11s,
Mhm.
and we'll probably wrap up with that. So, one is your favorite all time West Indies 11, and then we will do your all time CPL 11. Let's start with the West Indies 11 if that works with you. Anybody from the great Sobers to even Courtney Walsh, you can just name 11 players. I mean, like probably six batsmen, a keeper, and four bowlers.
Okay. Curtly
With an
Ambrose,
all-rounder in between. Curtly Ambrose, yeah,
Courtney Walsh,
yeah.
um, Malcolm Marshall.
Wow, yeah. He's a absolute legend. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Kumar Roach.
All right. So you've got four fast bowlers
That's my
there.
four fast bowlers. Um, my all rounder would be Gary Sobers, definitely.
Perfect. A wicket
My
keeper.
wicket keeper, Hmm. I'd go Ridley Jacobs.
Ridley Jacobs.
Yeah, I'll go Ridley Jacobs.
Okay.
Um,
Uh, Five batsmen.
yeah. So Gwyneth Haynes,
Brennan Haynes, absolute legends.
Sylvia Richards,
Yeah,
Brian Lara,
yeah. And one more.
and I'd have to put. Hmm, this is a tough one. I'd say Shibman Chanapal.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I think this team could possibly beat any team in the world if they get together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And our final question before we wrap up is your all-time CPL 11, where we will need four foreigners or four overseas players and seven West Indians.
Mm, okay. My two openers are definitely going to be Chris Gale and Evan Lewis.
Awesome. We have one Patriot there.
Yeah. Um, at number three would be Rossi van der Dusen.
We really missed him.
Yeah.
He would have probably played with us this season. Unfortunately, no flights out of South Africa. Otherwise, he would have been there with us.
Yeah. Number four, I'd have Mohammed Hafiz. Number four.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Number five is Andre Russell.
Without doubt.
Yeah. Number six, I have Pollard.
Wow. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, looks like we've lost a bit of connection. Alzarri, I think we lost you after you said Pollard.
Yeah, I realized that. Yeah.
So number six, Pollard. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
need a wicket keeper at number seven.
Yeah. My wicketkeeper would definitely be Dinesh Ramdin.
So we've got another Patriot there, and he's an
Yeah.
absolute legend too. And the four bowlers.
Yeah. I need one more overseas, don't I?
We've got Rassi and Hafiz. You'll need to pick
I need two
overseas,
overseas.
two overseas bowlers and two.
Yeah. Sohail Tanvir, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, another Patriot. So we've got three Patriots there. Interesting.
Sheldon Kotra for sure.
Awesome. So that's four. So we've got two more bowlers to fill in and one overseas there.
Yeah. Um, my other overseas bowler would have to be Dale Steyn.
Right.
Yeah. And my last bowler would be.
Maybe a spinner.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a spinner, but this is also a tough one because there are so many good spinners in the CPL. I'd probably go with Sunil Narayan.
I thought as much. I thought as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And thank you so much for joining us on this live. Let's just quickly see if we've got any interesting questions and we'll wrap up with that. Yep. And who's your favorite bowler? Somebody's asked you that.
My favorite bowler is Dale Steyn.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Alzarri. It was a pleasure talking to you over the last maybe half an hour or so, and wishing you all the very best. And let's hope we bring home the trophy. Or
Yeah, we should this
yeah,
year. We have a really good group.
yeah. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, you too.
Yeah. Bye bye.